Hey guys, welcome to the Keeping It 99 podcast here with episode 2 of the Success Series, an episode
24.
in general, I guess.
Yeah.
We're here today, me and Mon, obviously your host, with a special guest, my dad, Mr. Sobhi Boktor, who is a CEO and owner of SW Financial Group. He got his bachelor's degree from Helwan University in 1992, moved to America in 96, and then completed his master's degree from DeVry University in 2003, right? Got that? Good. Yes. So today we're going to talk about like financial success and like what it really means to be financially successful. So my first question for you is like, how do you define financial success?
Financial success, it is about you, how you impact the other, how you take your success and it changes the world. It's not about money. For sure is very important. I always say to the people that the money is the spine of the life. Without the money, you cannot do anything. Very simple, very straightforward. Money is money. I think the misconception in our environment or in our church or in our, when you ask anybody, you say, I don't care about that. That is not important. That is not, I can live whatever and I don't worry about that. The fact is, without that success and you drive yourself, you can't eat, you can't drink, you can't wear clothes, you cannot do anything. So it is, the success is how you be persistent and push yourself to just improve yourself day after day, year after year, and after that you impact and it changes the world.
I mean, I'm laughing because like I've heard you say this multiple times. So, I mean, I agree 100%, and I feel like I agree on this point of money. Like, a lot of people like don't like try to act like, oh, like I don't think about money, I don't see money, and obviously, you know, learning from you, it's very important to have money. You need money, but it's also very important to pursue money. But it's like where that balance is between pursuing money versus pursuing like other things in life. So my next question, my follow-up question would be like, where exactly do you draw that line of where, like how much you pursue money? Like what is that thing where you're like, at this point I need to stop pursuing money? Like what is that action, or like what's something that happens that pushes you away from that?
Let me just change or give you two things. Is a difference between to love the money and to use the money as a tool. It's very, 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 very big difference. When the Bible said love money is the source of evil, he defined it, love money. He did not say the money. He did not say that whatever you have. He didn't say you will not be rich or has nothing to do with that at all. He said love money. So you should not love money, but you should to push or to enhance your life to gain more, to live good lifestyle. And if you are broke, you can't fix anybody, okay? Very simple. If I have $1, what I can do to help is $1. Even if I didn't eat, if I didn't do anything, I can help with $1. But if I have millions of millions, I can help more. The young generation think, oh, this money coming, or whatever they do, whatever in the internet, this technology is beautiful, but they think that they will go to, for example, invest in currency or market money or whatever, and to get $1 become $1 billion. It will never happen. And if it's happened, he will lose it or she will lose it in the second day. That is the reality. Reality is money coming from very hard work. And I'm not working very hard for myself. I am working very hard to enhance myself. Through enhancing myself, I enhance others. I enhance my family, my church, my community, my world. I think you heard me many times about I love Bill Gates, for example. And imagine why Bill Gates changed a lot of people, building a school, building, because he has. And he has credibility. If he say, I need $1 billion, many people will donate to him because they know that when they donate to him, he will not misuse the money. But if somebody else broke and will not get anywhere. You see what? So more you will be successful, more you generate money, more you build the wealth, more you are in the best position to help anyone, and that is Christ-like, to help everybody. Whoever asks you, give. But to do that, you have to build yourself first. If you are empty, you can't fill somebody. You have to fill yourself, and after that, go and fill others.
Yeah, but Mr. Sobhi, like, when should you stop pursuing money? Like, when should you stop chasing after the money? Is there like a specific time or something that happens?
There is nothing called stop pursuing money or not pursuing money. I don't pursue money for money. I wanted to enhance myself, my community, my day after day. Part of the enhancement, or whatever can make that enhancement, it is the currency, because without the currency, like I said, I cannot do anything. So as far as I am this year, in expanding every year after year, or enhance from all aspects, okay? That is called the success. That is called the meaning of to be a good steward to the talent which God gave it to me. If you look to Matthew 20, I think 25th, I think 14 to 30, the parable of talent, or the same parable, they said it in Luke 19, I think from verses 12 to 28, something like that. But if you look to Matthew 25 or Luke 19, God gave everyone different talent. Give one 5, 3, and 1. The guy who get 5 bring 5. That's why his master said, you did good. And the guy who gets the 3, the same. But the guy who get 1, he said, you did bad. Why? Because he didn't invest it. So we need to be investing to whatever talent God gave it to mankind. It will be not useful that you will not use your talent, and you will be judged on it, whatever the talent is, money or health or kids or church or whatever, any talent you have to pursue it all the day, all the time, never stop. I don't believe that there is time to stop to do that or that or that. No, you have to continue until the last second of your life to transfer to the following generation better life than you lived it.
It's a great answer. I don't think anyone, like, I could have said it better, but I would like to go back to your point of like always pursuing and never stopping. And there's something you say all the time where it's, at least to me, it's like you have to be the best at everything you do. If you're going to go do something, you have to be the best at it. And, God calls us to be the best in everything we do. So what is your advice to people who are like either struggling to give their best or to do their best in the things they do? Like, how do you turn, like make that turn? Like, how do you turn your life around? How do you turn your effort around? Like, how do you basically like create a work ethic as in order to be successful, financially successful in anything, you have to have a good work ethic. So how do you get to that point to where you are able to be the best at everything you do?
I think to answer this, I have to just go back to a very simple thing. I think that our general mistake, and in the young generation is more than the old, but generally any generation, old or younger, do the same. A lot of people think that they know everything, which means I cannot say I do not know. I know everything. Nobody knows better than me. So the first, I think I should to learn, or I learn in my life, that I say I do not know. I cannot know everything. I have in the financial business more than 20 plus years. I am telling you, I know 0.01% in my field which I am in. I do not know a lot of stuff. So the problem with the younger generation and the old whatever generation, they don't want to say, I don't know. When you ask somebody about anything, they will tell you, oh yeah, do that, and they have no idea what they talking about. It is amazed me. You should to say, if you don't know it, I don't know it. It's fine. So the problem that the people distract themselves to many places. So they waste their time and they don't focus in what they know best. If I focus in what I know best and they did what I know best, I can be far good and I can pay for the other to the people who give talent. Once again, we'll go to the talent. Every single person in the face of the earth has a talent. If I figure out this talent and I use it in the best in my ability, invest in it, and don't look to any other, just this talent, that will be the most successful person you wanted to be. But you have to separate, not to know every single thing. Know a little thing, but be good at it.
Yeah. So knowing, like you said, knowing everything can distract you from success, right?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. There is no doubt about it. Because once again, there is not a person. Our mind is limited. We are not God. Mm-hmm. So if our mind is limited, how I can know whatever? Probably Isaiah heard from me a lot of time. I say I am disabled handy. All the time I say that, okay? There is people, the hand is a treasure by itself, but there is people can do stuff with their hand, and they are amazing. And your dad, for example, amazing in that. And I endure him, and I respect him so much because he do something I cannot do, okay? The same thing, I'm sure your dad appreciate me because I do something he cannot do. So we are as a society, together, we complete each other. You do something, I do something, Jacob do something, Isaiah do something, Mary do, whoever do, and we serve each other with the talent which God gave it to everyone. And that is the true succeed. If you wanted to be succeed, you have to focus in what talent God gave it to you, and focus on it and drive it.
I would like to connect that last point to the gospel from last week, which was about like all of us being one body and this notion that we all complete each other. So I'd like to get your thoughts on like, because you own a business, right? You've been running this business for 18 years, something like that. like obviously you have to work with other people, you have clients, you have employees. Like how exactly do you go about like working with people? Like if you had to give someone advice of like how to work with others, like what is that one thing you would say to them?
The one thing, be truthful, be honest, and work as an example to them. Be an example. It's not because you own the business, so you leave every single thing and you do whatever you want. No, you have to be example. And that is, by the way, that is what the Lord Jesus Christ said. He said, whatever I do, do. So he actually draws the road for us and say, guys, look what I did, and do like I did. And when the Lord washed the feet of the disciple, and St. Peter tried to say, oh, no, you can't do that. What he said, no, if I didn't do that, you will not be my disciple. And he told the disciple at the time, you just do as I did to each other. So the one word is be truthful and be example. Do that.
I love that answer. And honestly, like, you know, even in this podcast, I know you watch all the episodes and you see, and you also get a lot of the behind the scenes. You see, like, hear what I have to say about it, and just like my point of view on things. So, like, honestly, like I've learned a lot of like how to work with others, how to work with mena specifically, and you know, other people like throughout this. So like, I appreciate like that advice, and I take it like very rewardingly. Sorry. So to further this conversation about like working with others, like there's obviously been issues, right? There's issues in every business, in every relationship, in every friendship, and everything. How do you, like, obviously every issue is different, but if you had to take the first step in solving an issue, like, or to give advice on like what the first step is, what is your piece of advice?
Yeah. I tell you what I do in my office. If somebody of my people did a mistake or my staff did something is not right, I always tell them, okay, first define what is wrong. And after you define what is wrong, you fix it. And after you fix it, you have to take responsibility for that wrong, and whatever it takes to be fixed, we have to accommodate. For example, if for any reason we did something wrong and that wrong cost us whatever, $1,000 or $1 million, it doesn't matter. The client is out of the equation. We take care of it, and we'll tell the client, we did a mistake, and we are responsible for the mistake. We take responsibility, and we'll take care of the mistake. And in the meantime, if you want to continue with us, we will be honored to have you. If it's not, find whoever, and we will transfer the fund. So it is very important because everybody do mistake. So I cannot, if I do mistake, I cannot expect other people do not do mistake. Okay? But I should accept that they do mistake. And when I accept do mistake, I have to teach them how they can take responsibility of their mistake as I do when I do mistake. And how I fix the mistake and how they can fix the mistake. From the client stand or from the people around me standpoint, that is what I do all the time. From my staff, I will try to tell them, okay, sit with yourself and define what you did. You have to fix it. And if they continue to do it, we work with them. Sometimes we just say, that's it. You have to fix yourself. You have to stand firm sometimes. But in the meantime, you have to give the chance to the people, because none of anyone in the world do not make mistake. I am human being. I do mistake all the time. Okay, but it is big difference between I do mistake and forget about it like it's not happen, and do mistake and say, yes, I did the mistake. I am responsible. I take full responsibility. Whatever that mistake caused, I am fixing that way.
And how important is taking responsibility when it comes to success?
It is the key. It is without that, no matter what you reach, it will fall. One of the basic fundamental financial principle that as a business person, I have to be the first one to lead on taking responsibility for every action I do. Very simple. You cannot just do some stuff and say, oh, so and so did it, so that. Even if any one of my staff did something, I always go and say, I did it. Because that is my leadership. So anyone under me, it is my responsibility. Yes, I deal with them, but I always say, that is my responsibility. Don't worry. My mistake will fix it. It's very, very critical to anyone wanted to build a business or to be successful in any aspect of life, by the way, in any spiritual life, in anything, to take full responsibility for their action and fix it, not to do it.
And I'll say like by doing that, I know obviously you tell me this all the time. So a lot of stuff like you're saying, like I've heard my whole life really, especially the taking responsibility for your actions. But I've noticed, like, you know, when I started listening, you know, because it took a few years, but when I started listening, like, you notice that like there's this trust built between you and the other person, because you're, like you said, you're going to make mistakes. But it's when you start taking responsibility and fixing them that trust really starts to build and build and build. And I've seen that in your business. I've seen that in our personal relationship, in your relationship with others, in my relationships and stuff like that. And honestly, like I would say the same advice as you. Like, taking your responsibility for your actions is really, really important. And it's something that, especially as like guys, like we struggle with, because, you know, we have our ego and our pride, especially as teenagers. Like, I mean, we're all about knowing everything, you know, like you said. I know you tell me all the time I don't know anything. I know I act like I know a lot sometimes, but I mean, it really is all true. So
yeah, once again, as a young generation, you should to think, okay, I cannot know everything, but I can know one thing, little thing. This little thing, if you focus day after day, if you build day after day, you will be amazed. Even in a spiritual life, okay, there is amazing saint, for example, like Bob Corollos was praying. He didn't do any preaching or anything, but with praying and the miracle, he became one of the best saints. Bob Shenouda, for example, look to how many books he did, preaching, because he focused on what talent God gave to him. So you don't, if Bob Corollos say, oh no, I wanted to preach and all this stuff, I don't think he can be successful in that, because that's not his talent. If Bob Shenouda said, I will make miracle all the time, he will not be successful in that, because that's not his talent. Okay, so if you define very well your talent, you know it, you drive in it, you will be the most successful person anyone can have. It's very simple. It's not just it's not complicated. It's very simple. But if I just started to do that.
And how do you find that talent?
Yeah.
How you define that, I tell you something very funny, probably. When I study in commerce, international commerce school in Cairo, Zamalek, in Egypt, I said I am out of the tax subject, taxation. I didn't like, I don't want it. I just, at all. It's just out of my mind. So I study and I love about the planning and the future budgeting, forecasting, see the future. And that is, I think, what add value we do in our company. We study the best to tell the client how he can proceed in the future. That is my passion. But when I came to United States and take my master and work in corporate America, and after that I opened my own business, taxes is one of the most amazing
It's the
thing.
money maker.
It is money maker. So I started to say what I can do. So like I got forced to it, and now I love it more than anything. Okay, one of my strengths. But why I said that, sometimes I cannot see the real thing I can proceed or the thing which can build me until later on. But at least you have to define whatever you really have passion on, okay? For example, I know that you love engineering and all this stuff. That is amazing. I heard about Mona, he love money and the market and all that. That's beautiful, okay? Yes, but when you do that, you have to do it incremental, and see what that will take you, what that will lead you. If it's lead you that you better person from all aspect, year after year or day after, that's fine. If you see that will make you go down, that is, you say, no, I have sit with myself and evaluate the situation. There is a say, Bishop Moses, the youth bishop, used to tell us. He said, if you can fly, start flying. If you cannot, run very hard. If you cannot, walk. If you cannot, stop. But never go back. Which means, at least I will not go back, or I will not just waste my effort at whatever I reach, and just to go erase that. At least I stop, evaluate, and start walking again or flying. Or I have to push myself all the time. So to define, there is a lot of opportunity. God will, for sure, will open your eyes. You will see that as far as you are honest and try to do your best. Probably you heard many times I said, I'm opening my hand. Whatever God put in my hand, I do the best. I don't look to the result. There is a verse in the Bible I love all the time. They say, before you build a building, sit and count the cost. And always, I used to say, that is the planning and that is the forecasting, what we do. My dad, he's a simple man. He didn't have much education. He's traveling around the world to feed us very well. With his simplicity, gave me a different view. He said, look, God is so specific. He said, count the cost, but never said, count the revenue coming from that. So the revenue, it is the God, the success, anything is God work. I am working with God, like St. Paul he said. He said, we are working with God. So God like working with me, beside me, take me. But in the meantime, I have to do my best. And I always say, God already did his part, waiting for me to do my part, all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to go back to another point that you were speaking about. What if you have a passion that you love and you want to pursue it, but the money's not there? Like if you want to pursue, I don't know, like veterinarian or something like that, and the money it's not good. What do you think about that?
Any businessman or businesswoman or anybody builds himself, the majority, they don't have money. The most successful people, they don't have money when they start. Few, they inherit something, but that is not, the majority of the people who inherit a lot of money, they waste it anyway, okay? That is history, by the way. You have to put a small goal and reach that goal and put a bigger goal, So if you don't have money, you find a way to gain money and take this little money and recycling or reinvest it in a thing which it will not waste it. In that, I tell you about the people who invest in the market and this currency and whatever that is, which is the new thing right now. There is people lost millions of millions. There is people make billions actually on it. But as a normal person, I didn't study for that, I didn't know that, and I hear from other people, oh, you can do that, you can win that. You cannot build that. You cannot build the money. So first, take that dollar, which you earned, and try to make it $2 in the best, your ability in the thing which you know better. Not to, in the market and all that, invest whatever you don't need, whatever you can afford to lose. Okay? So if you have $10 and you don't worry about it and you want to have fun with it, okay, put it and you see. It can be $1 billion, it's fine. If it didn't, it will not impact your life. You see what I'm saying? But you have to take a step by step. Little goal, another little goal, little goal, a little. When you reach the goal, set another goal. When you reach it, and so on. That is how you build money. Okay? I came to this country with some money in the first quarter of Cali State. Here, the university is gone. There is no money I had. San Francisco was so expensive. Okay? I used to drink a lot of water because I cannot afford 50 cents to eat a sandwich. Okay? And I'm not, people will say, oh, this crazy guy, why he says that stuff and he's living like a king now. That is what built me. Yeah. There is nothing called I will be or this humiliate me or no. Work is work, and you can work in anywhere. You can work, wash dishes, clean bath, whatever. It doesn't matter. That is a beauty, to work very hard, generate, recycle, generate, and the more you work, more you generate money. At that time, you can invest whatever you want and build your wealth. And by the way, when you do that, very critical, you have to put your heavenly dad. I don't call it God or so. I give it. Isaiah heard that many times. I said my dad. He's my dad. I always tell Isaiah, I'm not your dad. I'm your just tool. You can use me, but your heavenly dad is for really. I believe in that. It's not I'm saying. I really believe
that is true.
That is the heavenly dad. Okay, so I have to put my heavenly dad in every aspect in my life. Okay, every $, my heavenly dad has a part of it. Everything have a, so more you be honest in that portion and to drive yourself and don't worry about the people around you. Never look to the people around you. If somebody encourage you, thank you so much, I appreciate. If somebody discourage you, thank you so much, your blessing. Take it blessing and move on and don't look to them. And make money. More money you make, more good life you have to you, to your family, to your church, to your community, to everybody. You see what I'm saying?
And I would like to go back to the point you just made about always giving your portion to God. I know, obviously, You're a very, very, very extremely generous person. I'm not saying this just because you're here, just because you're my dad, but you really are extremely generous with your time, with your effort, with your money. So I know you're always very big on giving and more giving. You actually started a nonprofit, Open Arms for Africa. I'll put a link in the description if you want to donate. And so obviously like charity is a big thing for you. So what is your advice? Because I know, especially with a lot of like people my age, charity is, to some people it's very important, but to a lot of people it's just kind of like so what? So what is your your pitch, like your sales pitch for donating, for giving? Like why is it important to give?
I don't say it as sales because this is not you can't sell this, but everyone listen to us and everyone know that God give you 100%. Because every single thing I have, no matter what, big or small, it is come directly from the hand of Almighty God. No matter what, I am like this, you know that I'm not, I always say I'm not that kind of person at all. Smart, all this kind of smartness and intelligent and all this stuff will lead anybody to nothing if God is not in their life. You can be the most successful, genius, brilliant, billions of dollar guy or lady. If God is not working in you, that is nothing. So I consider any penny come from Him. I am working in His field. So what a great trade, really, when God give me 100 and say, can I get 10 or 20% or 30% or even 50%? Well, I am the one who take. I'm not giving. That is, they say giving is charity. Well, I don't really honestly don't consider that. I am the one who take. I am the one God give me blessing. With all my ability and all this stuff, I don't think I can, maximum probably I will have one room to live in. That is my capability, I think. There is people more capable, but that's what I believe. So everyone, if he or she do not take the blessing of God, he says that, you know, the only thing God say, try me, is in that subject. He didn't say try me in anything, except he said, try me, give me my tens, and the sky will open and fill with blessing. It's not mean the sky will really open. No, it is whatever, okay. God can, which is something I don't see. I am walking, I could lose my eyes, I could lose my hand, I can lose my leg, my arm, my whatever. That's a lot of stuff I have in a second. But he didn't. Because that is not me, that is his, I think. I have no clue what is going on in my body, but that is his stuff. Okay, there is a story, probably you heard it from me, but there is a amazing father. He lived 112 years old. His name Father Johanna. He was serving in a village about 80 plus years to St. George. He was really close relationship with St. George. And one of the guy, very like a homeless man here, but in homeless in Egypt is just really nothing, beyond nothing. There is nothing beyond nothing. So he came to him and said, Father, you say God give, God give, God give, God give. Come on, pray something, do something for me. And his clothes is very dirty, the robe, which he, like, it's called jalabiya, he wear it, a robe. So Father, he said, are you sure you are that bad? He said, look, you don't see, Father? So he said, okay, let me tell you something. This father, amazing. He said, how about I will take your eyes, give me your eyes, and I will give you £1 million. So this guy, he said, are you crazy, Father? You want to take my eyes? What are you talking about? He said, forget about the eyes. How about I will get your heart and I give you $1 million, £1 million. I said, Father, are you joking? Really, you joking? And he started, Father, from eyes to heart to mind to hand to. So he looked to him and said, I didn't know that you are hundreds of millions of dollars and you say, I don't have anything. And when I saw that, I said, wow, that's true. I am by myself, worth a treasure, worth a lot. And he told him, thank God. More use. There is a verse that says, there is nothing without increase except whatever without thanks in the Bible. ليست عطية بلا زيادة بالتي بلا شكر, which means nothing without increase except the thing which we do not thank.
So like if you thank, it'll be increased.
Thank all the time. Yes. Thank, we feel like we're entitled to every single thing. Okay? But in fact, every single thing we have is belong to him. I thank him for my jacket. I thank him from my hand. I thank him from my shoes. I thank him from my living, my son, my daughter, my wife, my kids, my church, everything. If I stay thank all the 24 hours, I will not finish that. People say, what I will pray for, how I will pray. Yeah, you look around you and there is everything. This green stuff is say, I thank him about that. Because without that, I cannot have oxygen, for example. So that is what I think will drive the giving. I think that what will drive that your life is not yours, it's his. He gave it to you. So when I give you something, 100%, I say, can I take 20? You will come to me and say, no, I'm not giving it to you. Is that is logic? Does that make sense? There is not, it's not make sense. I give you the 100. I'm asking for a little. So I think that is what exactly, if everybody understands that, okay? And that is what I am saying. I never really saw that I am giving at all. I'm not giving, I'm getting all the time. That's big difference. I don't, and I believe it. I don't think anybody give. Everybody get. Or return, you can call it return it back, a little bit from what you get, or something like that, yes.
And there's like an abundance of blessing that comes from giving. You get more, like when you give, and it's not just in the giving sense, it's in every walk of life. Like, like I say a lot, like I took this from Wood and Nate. I've said it on the podcast multiple times, but like when it comes to service, for example, the service does not need us. We need the service. It's the same thing. Like God does not need our money. We need to give him our money. It's that same thing. Like we get so much more out of it. And in the Coptic Church in general, there's this notion of doing before understanding. And it's that same thing. It's like give, and you'll understand why when you start getting. And I agree 100%. And thank you for coming on this podcast and for sharing your wisdom and knowledge with us. We will definitely have you on another time, because trust me, there's a lot more for you guys to see and to hear from him. So thank you.
No, thank you so much. It is a great time to be with you, and it's a great question. I appreciate every single thing. I watch all the time the broadcast, and I send it to everybody because I believe that in the long run can empower and motivate young people to follow the right way and to be away from whatever the world present. And really, I appreciate that.
No, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, that'll be y'all. Link to Open Arms for Africa and SW Financial Group will be in the description. So thank you.